So an announcement came down from Activision that basically when Overwatch 2 is released free to play on October 7th, that if you own Overwatch 1, you'll not be able to play it because they're shutting that down completely. This flies in the face of when they were talking in the beginning of saying people who have Overwatch 1 will play against Overwatch 2 players. It'll be the same game. You'll be able to play it no matter what. But they walked that back, essentially, and said, no, we're shutting it down once Overwatch 2 is there. Zero, how do you feel about Overwatch 1 being shut down when Overwatch 2 free-to-play comes?
It's a bit of an interesting move. I mean, I get it. They want to get everyone over to the brand new hotness and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that, I get the intent. But at the same time, it also does kind of stink too, because they basically tell everyone, hey, we basically want you to move over to Overwatch 2 because, well, we can start exploiting you for the new battle passes that we're doing. It's very apparent. It's right. Definitely very, very apparent.
Right. I would have a big problem with this if Overwatch 2 was not free to play. But because it is, and apparently your skins and stuff are coming with you when you go to Overwatch 2, I'm okay with it. But I do understand why people are like, that's kind of fucked that you did this. You said you wouldn't. And now my disc is a coaster, apparently now. But that's kind of been what gaming has become in the past 2 console cycles now. Your disc essentially is just an installation key. That's all it is. So at this point, like, it doesn't surprise me. But since Overwatch 2 is free to play, and if you really want to play Overwatch, you're going to download Overwatch 2. I don't find this as objectionable as some people might. Do I understand? Yes, that kind of sucks. But because you're able to download it for free and play it, I really don't see this as that big of an issue. Like I don't see this as anti-consumer necessarily, because they're not saying you have to spend $70 on the new game to play it because we're shutting down Overwatch 1. They're just saying, no, just come to the free-to-play client and you'll play the same game. You'll have all your stuff that you earned. You'll have all the things that you bought. You're fine. You're there. That's all you need to do. So they're just basically migrating everything to Overwatch 2. So, again, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm actually okay. Like, I understand. They shouldn't have said then, oh, yeah, Overwatch 2 players can play with Overwatch 1 players. You shouldn't have said that then if you're not going to... If you had issues and weren't able to get that running, which is a problem with a lot of game companies who overpromise and underdeliver. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the potential concerns that I could see being one that could be of legitimate concern is if and only if Overwatch 2 does something with the requirements that ends up shutting out a lot of people from being able to play, then I could certainly see the concern there, because at that point, just if you've got players who end up basically being unable to play the game because of the new requirements and everything, then just that could be a bit of an issue.
You mean requirements like system requirements on PC?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I get that, but if that's the case, then the system requirements were going to be bumped up for Overwatch 1 as well. Like if that really was going to happen, then there was going to be a giant update on Overwatch 1 to just basically say, hey, we have to update the system requirements. You need this card, you need this amount of RAM now. So yeah, but Overwatch, they keep fashioning that as an esports game, so I don't think that will be an issue, because with esports games, they have to be well optimized for all sorts of systems, so I don't think that's going to be an issue really. But but I understand the fear in that. I definitely understand that. I just look at this and go, like, look, I get that people, when they have discs, don't like the fact that their discs become coasters after a certain point in time because they just won't work, even if you put them in your system. I get that. I do. But this is just basically what gaming has become. And since Overwatch is ostensibly a multiplayer game and always has been, I always felt it weird that people would want to buy the disc anyway for it, because you still need an internet connection, you still need to update the game, you still are downloading all the assets, so it's kind of pointless. Like the sports games I play, I mean, I don't even bother getting the discs anymore because A, multiplayer mostly, B, they update it constantly, and C, once the year is over, they stop updating and people stop playing it. So it was pointless for me to then say, "Oh, I'll have the disc version." No, it's a waste of. It's really just a waste of space. So I don't get it. I think multiplayer only games should just be downloadable at this point. They shouldn't really bother with a disc version. So that's me. I know people will disagree. They like to have their collections and they like to have their discs. I get it. But I'm just at that point now where if it's multiplayer only, don't bother with a disc version.
Yeah.